Let's do
Aether Glider, a reprint, an old school reprint. This was in
Yep.
like Antiquities or some shit. What set is
That
it
sounds.
from?
I have no idea. That sounds right though. I believe you.
Yeah, it is.
I won't be able to sleep if I don't know.
It's Antiquities.
Fair.
Gindy says it is Antiquities.
I'm inclined to believe.
I spelled it wrong.
Alliances.
Alliances. I was close.
Got him.
And then and then it was in Masters Edition 4, which is how I know about it.
Fair.
Yes.
Oh, there's different art. Ooh, I like the moon one. Anyway. Yeah, limited card, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. On this card for sure.
Amaranthin Wall. I'm glad walls are back. Walls are a good reach back for Dominaria.
Yep.
4 mana, 06 Defender. 2 mana, activate, gets indestructible until end of turn. I thought they were doing away with indestructible, but I guess not.
I guess you probably just want to throw something in there that has indestructible.
Is
It's
it-
not like
Yeah, it's
At
not.
least, yeah, it can't attack.
Yeah, it's not killing people.
yeah. It's not like it's a 4/6 wall that says like gains indestructible, loses defender.
Yeah,
You know.
that card
Those-
sounds
those-
sweet.
Yeah, obviously it does because those cards were all good.
Yeah, all right, whatever. It's actually
Yeah.
going to be like a niche limited card, maybe even like a sideboard card.
Yeah, I'll definitely put this in against like the rush decks or whatever in
Yeah.
limited for sure.
But like the like medium green and white decks, not like the
Yes.
ones that go wide,
Yeah.
and not the ones that are like super
Yeah.
fast. Yeah.
Yeah, specifically against the 4 and 5 power green cards.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Blackblade Reforged, a rare 2 mana equipment. Equipped creature
Okay.
gets +1/+1 for each land you control. Equip a legendary creature is 3. Equip anybody else, it's 7. Gindy, thoughts?
Well, equipping for 7 means you get +7.
It's a big, it's a big plus.
It's a big plus. I mean, I think that card's actually like reasonable at 2 and 3, and there are enough. If there are enough 4-mana legends, which I think there are going to be, like this card will be pretty good. And especially for limited, depending on how fast the format is, if the format's any type of stalemated, this card's going to be real good.
Yeah, it's going to be sigil of distinction or whatever that card was.
Yeah, essentially. For constructed, I mean, even if we had mono legends, this card's not good.
Yeah, I mean, for this card to be constructible, we would have to start with Isamaru and go from there.
Yeah, still
Yeah.
not good enough.
Yeah, I don't. I agree. I still don't think it's good enough. Like, it sounds cute or whatever to put this on that 3/3 flash flyer or whatever, but
Whatever, yeah.
yeah.
It's just,
Rune Chanter's Pike, you are not.
not good.
Blood
No.
Tallow Candle, 1 mana artifact, 6 tap, sacrifice it. Target creature gets -5/-5 until end of turn.
Common.
It looks like a limited card. I would also add that if there were it might be in an improvised deck. If there's a critical mass of 0 and 1 mana artifacts for some insane improvised deck, this might be one of the
Okay.
ones you play. But outside of that, obviously just a limited card.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Is this white thing common?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I actually thought it was an uncommon, and I was actually thinking for a second, why is this uncommon? And then realized that all of the commons are actually white in the
Yeah,
as
that's
far as the
bizarre.
symbol is concerned. So I guess they want to do that now. I don't know.
The only way I've been able to tell what's common, what's uncommon anymore is the little C or R or U.
Oh yeah, at the bottom.
Yeah,
Oh,
I just
yeah.
looked down there. I'm like, is that a C? That's
Oh, okay, it's common. I don't have to look at the.
We've degenerated into circle, triangle, star from Pokemon. That is what we have done.
Well, you could always fucking tell.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
All right, Damping Sphere. This is a card that's getting a lot of press, but for modern, not for standard.
For modern, yeah.
Or limited, for that matter. It's cool that it's uncommon. Like if you were only like a limited and standard player, which a vast majority of Magic players are, it would suck to open this in a rare slot. Like I bet opening Damping Matrix in 5th Dawn or whatever was like a real shitty feeling. So I'm glad that they aren't doing that to kids. But yeah, I mean it's a pretty sweet modern hoser, but that's about as far as it goes.
Yeah, agree. If you're just playing limited and standard, you can rip this card in half and move on.
Yeah. It also seems sick in vintage.
I was gonna say, just like side note on vintage, it's interesting in vintage in that it like seems like it's perfect for the shops deck, but it's actually
It ruins your
the
shop.
shops deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like it's almost like it's printed for the Merfolk deck.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say,
Awesome.
look at the like Dark Confidant, Dimir Cut Purse decks of yore.
Yeah, that are just actual fish.
Yeah, fish
but-
or literal fish.
Yeah, fish or literal fish. But like this card is actually just pretty sweet for the vintage aggro decks, even like Eldrazi and Taxes or whatever. Not too bad in that deck. But yeah, definitely a modern card.
Yeah.
Not a standard card. Maybe an eternal card. But
Yep.
something, grab your foils. It'll be worth something someday.
Oh yeah, for sure. Get your Japanese foils.
Yeah, get your foils everywhere.
Forebear's Blade, another equipment. This one costs 3 mana to play and 3 mana to equip. Equipped creature gets +3/+0 and Vigilance and Trample. When it dies, you get to reattach it.
Do you think
Stick in a
it's...
token deck.
Yeah, agree.
This card
Do you
seems
think-
legit.
Yeah, I do like it. Do you think at some point, when they were designing some of these cards, they just like kept talking on accident? Like they're just like, you get this and also this other thing.
Yeah, they just never stopped adding abilities.
Yeah, like they just had a conversation. Like, what if we give it +3/+0 and then Vigilance, and then
And
someone else is like, and Trample, and the guy just wrote it down, and that's just what happened.
Somebody
He's just
said,
like, yeah, print it out, yeah.
Yeah, somebody said and first strike, and they were like, hold on a second, guy.
Whoa.
Right.
How about when it dies, something happens?
Yeah, someone said indestructible, and then they actually changed that into the second ability. For sure.
Yeah.
Like, well, let's just move it around. But yeah, I mean, dude, I definitely agree. This card seems sweet. I like it.
It kind of reminds me of oh god, what was it called? It was 3 mana and I think 2 to equip, and it gave like +2/+0 Vigilance and First Strike. Anybody remembering this card?
Say it again.
I think it's I know it's a 3 mana.
No,
equipment.
Nodachi?
No, but it's close to Nodachi. It's more recent than that. It's I guess Nodachi was pretty old. In terms of equipment. I think it was in a core set.
All right, say it again.
It kind of looks like Forebear's Blade, or what's the name of that card? The sword, like the +3/+0 sword.
Yeah, maybe that one.
That's the one you're thinking of. Like this one has way more abilities, obviously. And that one was uncommon.
But it was like Vigilance and First Strike and a power boost, right?
I don't think it was a Vigilance and First Strike. It was just like First
Does the
Strike.
chat have any idea what I'm talking about? A Chroma Blade? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know what that means either.
There was one equipment that like turned something into a combo.
That sounds good.
Oh yeah, Sword of Vengeance.
Sword of Vengeance. I think that's it. Sword.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah. Yes, I agree
It
now.
was plus
I
2 plus
understand.
0. Yes, this
Yeah,
card.
plus 2 plus 0, vigilance, first strike, trample, haste. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, this card is. It was like a legit constructible card. It didn't see a ton of play, but it was
Sure.
like that's more a product of its time. I had a lot of success with this card and think that it should have been in more decks anyway. But like I mostly just thought that like, man, I wish that this card was
Right.
in a different set so that it could shine. And this card reminds me of that. The problem is the best part of the Sword of Vengeance is the combination of Vigilance and First Strike, because it means that you get to attack and they can't attack back into you. And obviously Haste was quite valuable as you go along. But this card is similar in the way that you can like attack with this huge thing, and they have to like trade their guy for it, and then you attach it to an untapped creature, then they can't attack back into it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree.
If there is a tokeny aggro deck or a go wide aggro deck, I would not be surprised if this was constructible.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely getting some of the pieces, like with the Watchwolf card, the land that makes guys. We already have, you know, the hidden stockpile deck or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe this just slides in there somewhere.
Here's Sword of Vengeance. God, I love that card.
Yep.
Yeah, sort of.
For equipment to be like constructible but not busted is like very hard.
Yeah, obviously there
The ones
is
that make it into constructed are like Skull Clamp and Jit and
and like
Sort of feasted thing.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, yeah, the swords that, you know, living artifact type cards or whatever. Also, just
yeah,
they learned no lesson with that one.
Living Artifact and
Yep.
Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah, who would have thought that would have happened, man?
AJ, remember Mortarpod? Oh man.
Hell yeah, I remember Mortarpod. Just like the mirror tech.
That's so good. I love
It makes it so hard for their good equipment to get active.
It's true. So true.
In my like little box of cards that I just hold on to in case I ever need them, or just because they're great, I have like 2 Mortarpods.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Love that one. Alright. Gilded Lourdes, an interesting reprint. Great art. I don't know if there's big mana decks. It seems
Yeah, there was the Lightning Angel card that says, you know, pay Wooburg for stuff. So maybe this is the.
This doesn't really help you out with Wooburg too well.
I mean, agree, but maybe this is one piece of the puzzle.
The
I'm interested in this card in like a Mastermind's acquisition type deck. And
yeah.
Okay.
there are some good 3-mana ramp spells. I mean, we had Gift already. We have Spring to Mind, which both Spring to Mind seems fantastic.
Lamb Elf and a Spring to Mind into Gilded Lourdes and a spell.
Hui!
Yeah, I mean that seems like that could be something. There's another spell that my friend was telling me about today that's like green 2, search for tomorrow, and then it has like a kicker, 2 colorless, and you can search for another land. So
That seems good.
Yeah,
and it's search for tomorrow, so they come into play untapped.
Untapped. Wow.
That's pretty clutch.
So yeah, if you kick it for 5,
There's so
you
many
get
good
2 mana
cheap
back.
spells that like coming into play untapped is legit.
Yep.
Yeah, because you can like 3 mana search for like fatal search for swamp fatal push.
Exactly, yeah. Like because a lot of the old ones that like would ramp a card into play on a land into play untapped, it might as well have been tapped. Like you never get to use that mana.
Yeah. So
Kitty Tart says good with kicker too. Yeah, if there's a bunch of like big mana kicker cards, like that's essentially what Tooth and Nail was. Entwine is just masked kicker. Then yeah, this card is definitely something to remember.
It's definitely something to remember. Keep
It's
it back in mind. Mana's always important for standard.
Yes, and the stuff that likes artifacts. I almost said historic. The historic thing. This is a good thing for stuff that procs on that, I guess.
Sure.
Sure.
Guardians of Koilos. The Caves of Koilos and their Guardians. 5 mana, 4/4. ETB, return another target historic permanent you control to its owner's hand. Wow.
I mean, I like being able to reset the saga. That sounds sweet.
Yeah, that sounds great. And like just a mana war in limited seems great.
It's only you control.
Yeah, you control. Yeah.
All right, so it's
Yeah.
it's
The
a
card
game.
was almost a busted common.
Yeah.
If it did not say you control that card.
At least it's May, so you're not like locked out. Like you're not gating yourself.
Right.
It's not Ether Snipers.
Yeah.
Let's not get excited. But yeah, it is decent.
It's like you don't really want to bounce your legendaries. Your artifacts, like there's not a ton that have come into playability so far. So it's basically just sagas that you really want to do anything with this.
Basically, or ETB if they're already good.
Yeah, I'm off it.
Artifacts.
Helm of the Host, 4 mana, legendary equipment, 4 mana to cast, 5 to equip. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a token that's a copy of equipped creature, except the token isn't legendary if equipped creature is legendary. That token gains haste. And I will point out, you don't sacrifice it at the end of the turn. It's not a flash thing. It's
that is just good.
It's just a clone.
Like, this is another one of those cards that's like, man, if this format is slow enough to support this, like, that's just good.
Yeah.
Just real good. You know?
It's another one that you're never going to beat in limited.
Yeah. Yeah, that card's going to get active, and they're just going to, like, attack me with, like, a craw worm, with more craw worms.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to die. I've already understood this.
Yeah,
I accept the truth.
Helm of the Host is a 100% limited card.
Yes.
Easily, as long as there's not, like, bounce / good instant speed removal in this card.
Yeah, if there's like a cheap removal thing, this is a good way to lose.
Yes.
Oh, agree.
It's a very polarized card. Like if you cast this thing, if you invest 9 mana into this thing, you either just run away with the game instantly, or like you get tempoed out on the spot.
Yeah.
One of those two things
I
happens.
definitely agree. If there's just like a bombard or whatever type card, you just lose.
It's like, I could not have taken those 2 turns off.
Yeah, I should not have done that.
Correct.
Howling Golem, 3 mana, 2/3. Whenever it attacks or blocks, each player draws a card. A cool twist on Howling Mine.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
I like it. I mean, I think it's interesting that they kind of did the Smuggler's Copter thing again, where it attacks or blocks.
Yeah. This is not quite Smuggler's Copter, but it is good that it works on D as well. Because like presumably, if you're constructing with this thing, like you play it on 3 and you're like looking to block instantly.
Yeah.
So the fact that it procs off of that is important.
Yeah, agreed.
This definitely needs like a special home.
But it's kind of interesting, right? Because like if you're looking for like a Howling Mine effect, you're not really looking to attack,
Right?
Especially not for 2.
Right.
So
it reminds me of Kamiya Crescent Moon.
It does kind of.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of.
And that card literally only worked one time in its entire history, and it was Howling Mine. And they don't make stone rings anymore, let alone boomerangs. And you know, you can't like bury somebody with this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not boomeranging lands anymore.
No. And there's no like Rune Flare trap shenanigans either.
God, can we not talk about Rune Flare Trap?
I forgot who was on the line.
It's a sweet card, but let's go to the next one.
Icy Manipulator. Long time no see. I'm actually surprised. I just said they don't print Stone Rains or Boomerangs anymore, but this is kind of a Stone Rain.
Yeah, a little bit. I think we've all obviously played Limited with this card at some point.
It's very good.
Busto, like totally happy to pick this first. Not even a little bit of a problem with it. So I think it's just where it's always going to be. You know, since Ice Age or whatever. So
With Planeswalkers, if we have like Wraths also, I don't know if we have. I mean, we have Settle still, but yeah, Icy is real good at that. Like, you play your Planeswalker and activate its Protect Myself ability. Then you play this on 5 and tap, and then you have this and the Planeswalker and all of your mana the turn after that.
mm-hmm.
I think those sequences will be what you will get out of this card for Constructed. You know, you're not like playing this thing in aggro decks,
Right.
but it might make its
I know
way
it-
into Constructed, but it's definitely just a house in Limited.
Yep.
Yeah, actually, thinking about it, just slightly for Constructed, I mean, it is pretty good against red. There's just a lot of haste creatures.
Yup. It's good against haste. It's
So-
good with Planeswalkers. You can like play this thing and then play your Teferi and untap a land and then activate it.
Yeah, and untap 2
Reasonable,
lands
yeah.
at the step. So, yeah, that's sort of. It actually could very easily see playing a Constructed this go around.
You can really punish somebody for, like, in a control mirror, if this thing is down, then, like, they can't ever tap mana on their turn, because then you tap another land, end step, untap, tap another land, and then they don't have counter mana up for your Haymaker.
Exactly. Yeah, you're thinking the same thing. I'm thinking. Yeah, it's like reasonable in control mirrors, reasonable in aggro decks. So like, I could definitely see Icy. Like I said, it saw play when it first came out in alpha beta, but like
It was
I've really
busted
seen-
then.
yeah,
Yeah.
didn't really see much play when it got its reprint back in Mirrodin, the first Mirrodin.
No, but we played the Tumbler Magnet.
We did play Tumbling Magnet.
Like,
yeah,
there's
that was-
precedent
Wasn't
for
that
this.
because of the Titan issue though?
Yeah,
It
partially.
was more of the equipment.
It was
issue.
yeah. It was
Oh,
you
okay,
could
okay,
invest
okay,
a card
yeah.
to temporarily disable their creatures because
Yeah.
you just want to hit them with your equipment and not get hit by their equipment.
Yep.
So
Reasonable.
it was a very specific metagame thing, but you know nobody says that couldn't happen again. What I will say is that a Braid existing probably means that a 4-mana artifact can't be played main deck yet, but maybe if we get a rotation, you know, Icy will be good after that.
There's a 7-mana artifact that seems regular playing. Slightly
Yeah,
more
fair.
powerful.
Yeah,
gonna say
a
that one-
little
that one
higher
kinda wins.
upside.
Yeah. Kind of wins on the spot.
Slightly more powerful.
Johor's
Alright,
familiar.
So Johor's familiar.
I like this art. Kilo Owl.
Oh.
4-mana, 2/2
Yeah.
flying. Historic spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. This
Okay.
this is the card that's like blows my mind that artifacts are historic spells.
Yep.
Like, you can do shit with this thing.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Obviously, there's plenty of cards that, you know, obviously making them cost 1 more makes them over the top busted. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if this was like a 3-mana guy that did that, kind of like it's obviously, you know, calling back to the old like the different colored familiars or whatever from IPA or whatever. I forget which one they were in.
Yeah.
You know, so that's obviously what they're trying to do here, and I totally get that, and I'm down with it.
Those things
I
cost
have-
2 and this one costs 4.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like maybe it's a little too much, but I mean, we're gonna get deeper into the artifacts. So
They just printed something very similar to this in Kaladesh, I guess.
Mhm.
With Foundry Inspector.
Yeah.
And that's seeing some play in Vintage, obviously, in the.
Ooh, this thing might be
Shops deck.
vintageable, yeah.
So yeah, it's a Shops card. I mean, one thing that's really interesting about it to me is it doesn't
is
have
cool.
that one clause that we normally have on cost reducers where
yeah,
Can't
They
go to
can
0.
they
yeah,
can
can't.
go this. Yeah, these can go to 0. So
Yeah,
it's
that is excellent. Yeah,
yeah, and being a flyer is obviously relevant because there's not a huge amount of flyers.
Yeah, trade for their Delver.
yep. Down with that.
All right,
I dig it.
Yep.
digging it.
Jousting Lance. 2-mana artifact, equipment, 3 to equip. Equipped creature gets +2/+0. As long as it's your turn, it has first strike.
Wolf.
Yeah, very good in limited and end of sentence.
Good. Yeah, it's a common that will beat me. Excellent.
Juggernaut. We know Juggernaut.
Plus attack.
Yeah, 5/3 suited. Got a 3-bet.
4-bet.
I don't know how many times I have yelled that at Pacifico in my life. He's just obviously I've watched him 3-bet or 4-bet someone. I'm like, you clearly have Juggernaut. He clearly flashes 5/3 suited before
Flop 2/4/6.
No, but we don't ever get there. Pacifico does not see flops. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
why
take up the free
miss
money,
a
move
flop
on.
when you could 5-bet pre?
Yeah, I mean, especially with 5/3 suited, like you have no equity whatsoever.
My favorite
best.
Juggernaut story is from Pro Tour Amsterdam. It was M something, I want to say M10, limited, and I was hanging out with Ryan O'Connor and crew, and was introduced to this guy who was X and O going into the first draft, and Ryan said, AJ, you have to see his draft deck. It's like, all right, I look at it, and it is black, white, blue, splashing blue, I guess, and one of the blue cards that he was playing was 2 copies of the 1/1 Island Walk for 1.
Nice.
And he had multiple, like, Holy Strength in his deck. And his only good cards in the entire deck were 2 Juggernauts. And absolutely everything else was just, like, the least play... Like, I don't know how you could get this few playables in your pool if you were drafting unplayables on purpose. It was the worst deck I've ever seen.
Yeah, maybe he did the 24 land challenge. We don't know.
At the Pro Tour at XO. So
Yeah.
I'm just, like, berating this guy that I just met for his horrible deck. So obviously he 3-0s.
Yeah.
And he said that he just won every single game by playing Juggernaut on 4 and then playing a Holy Strength on it so they couldn't kill it. And they just got locked in the abyss and died. And that man's name was Tom Ma.
Sure.
And he top-8'd that Pro Tour.
Yeah, I mean, he clearly knew something that no one else did.
He's like, yeah,
you win.
I played, you know, my blue opponent, so I had the Island Walk thing on 1, and then I Holy Strength it, and he died 10 turns later.
Yeah, you just shock.
He just fucking died.
Shock. All right, you're dead. Got him.
Yeah, Juggernaut.
Yeah, no, I like that. Lance on Juggernaut. I like that. Whoever said that,
oh yeah, who's beating that?
Yeah, nobody. You
Abyss.
can't beat that card.
Mistress Self-Replicator. 5 mana 2/2. Whenever you cast a historic spell, you may pay 1. If you do, self-replicate.
No, it creates a token that's a copy of this card.
Yes.
Not the one you cast. That's different. Okay.
Yeah, it's self-replicate. It's not
yeah.
replicate
I like
something else.
Yeah, no, I get it. That's good. I
mean,
like the flavor.
It's kind of sweet that like you can just like Ornithopter and make another one of these the turn you play it.
I would be super into this card if it was kind of like the Cold Snap cards, where it did something with others. Not just make more 2/2s.
Well, the replicators can replicate. So, like...
Yeah. No,
that's exponential.
Yeah. No, that part's definitely sweet. But I mean, like, I don't know, like, where the line is as far as, like, what kind of bonus is reasonable. I think, obviously, you can't just make it Relentless Rat.
I was going to say, you're talking about a Relentless Rat's ability?
Yeah, no, that's too good.
I don't think you need it. Like, think of the 3 mana 1/1 mirror that you pay 3 tap it and it makes a copy of itself. Like, that thing got out of hand in, like, 3 turns.
Sure.
They could do...
Yeah, I'm having difficulty trying to figure out a way to, like, go off with this, kind of.
What? How? It's not hard. You play this, the next turn you can play a cheap artifact and pay 1, and then play another cheap artifact and pay 2, and you have 4 2/2s.
Yeah, I don't know.
That all make more.
Seems like a lot. I mean, yes, I think I get it, but
You just have to draft cheap artifacts, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are there like what is that card called? Like any of the 2 mana like cantrip filter
Or
color?
Wellspring type cards.
Yeah, or that type card. Yeah.
Not yet. That we've really seen.
Maybe if those cards exist, I could get behind this thing.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Mox
looks like
Amber.
one of the big ones for sure. Has the word Mox.
Yeah, anything that has Mox, you're already like on edge.
Full alert. Yeah, full alert.
Legendary artifact for 0 mana, of course. Tap, add 1 mana of any color among legendary creatures and planeswalkers you control.
So I originally completely misread this card and thought it was tapping for any legendary creature or planeswalker.
That would be busted as hell.
Right. I was like, oh, cool, they put a $100 bill in the new set. That's nice of them.
Yeah.
But
no, not so
okay.
kind.
So we still haven't found, I mean, obviously we haven't got to 0 colored cards, but I think this is going to be sweet with, like, I guess Isamaru is just going to be the one we'll reference as, like, you know, the very cheap legends.
Yeah, like the 2 mana thing with this is sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mox Amber, I feel I can push Nora in the Wary into, like maybe...
Say that again?
Oh, Nora in the Wary.
Nora in the Wary.
Oh, that's interesting.
I could see like a Nora, because one of the things about Nora in the Wary type deck is always kind of a little bit slow.
Yeah, because
Now
they have like expensive prison elements to their deck.
Yeah, now having a Mox, they might actually be able to like compete with some of the faster decks.
That's interesting.
Okay.
There's like so few 1 mana legendaries that I guess you just have to try them all.
Yeah, the only two I could think of, or a couple I could think of, were Isamaru and Nora in the Wary.
Yeah.
Off of my head.
As for its actual use, like this card seems to me like the okay. So there's 3 things that this card makes me think of. One is the one we just discussed. Cheap legendaries to get it over the top. 2 is that like in your 26 land Planeswalker control deck, this is your 26th land.
Okay.
And the other is that its ability is somewhat incidental, and the reason you play it is because it's a 0 mana artifact. For improvise or for abilities like Replicator that proc on you having a thing, it's a legendary artifact to make your both your historic spells and your hero spells or whatever they're called. Yeah, I think that's
Historic spells.
Yes. So I was kind of speeding through the colors just to kind of browse around and see if there was just like, some type of like 1 or 2 mana other legendary creatures that we could possibly try to go nuts with or whatever. The only one I didn't get to green yet, so sorry if I missed the green one that somehow exists. But there is a 2 mana blue and 1 legendary creature, Human Wizard. If a wizard entering the battlefield under your control causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time, and it's a 2/1. So that's the only other like 2-drop legendary.
All right, that one seems good. There's also somebody said there's a green 1-drop, and there's also Baral, Chief of Compliance.
Okay.
And then I thought of a really good one for Modern for this card, Araya.
Which one is Araya?
Oh yeah, Raya.
When you play your 4th spell in a turn, flip it.
Is
and
Raya that banned?
No, it's legal.
You sure?
Why would it be banned?
They've banned it before. Banned and extended.
In Extended, yeah. I don't think it's ever been banned in Modern.
You sure? I feel like that's a card somebody would have played it.
There's a green 1-drop. I don't see the green 1-drop. Am I missing it?
There were cards missing from that link you sent us.
Yeah, I went through a different
Yeah, it's
route
legal.
and found it.
It's banned in Commander.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, it's good with Ryan.
Yeah, I don't see the green 1-drop. Maybe I looked twice, I missed it. But
Oh, he's saying it's from...
Kaladesh.
Yeah, it's in Standard, but not from this.
okay.
Yeah, it's the 1 green, 1/2 that you could pay.
Yeah. The like limited unbeatable rare.
Yeah, the one.
Yeah, got it. Yep, I remember that card. Okay, so we have like a couple of green/white, green and green-white cheap legends to turn this thing on, but I think I mostly
blue
agree
2-drops
with
in Standard.
Yeah. So nothing too nutty. There is probably.
I mean, going from 2 to 4 is like absurd.
Yeah, especially we definitely agreed and established earlier that there was a billion very good 4-drops in Standard. So,
you can also as the 26th land in your 26th land deck, like it gets you to the 3rd mana off of your Teferi turn.
Oh sure, yeah.
And then. Yeah, I'm sure its main use is just going to be that it's a 0-mana artifact. That sometimes taps for mana.
Okay. Let's go to the next card.
Navigator's Compass. 1-mana artifact. When it ETBs, gain 3 life. Tap. Until end of turn, target land you control becomes the basic land type of your choice in addition to its other types.
Okay.
This is another one that's just going to be improvised fodder, right?
Could be that. Could be maybe you drafted the Sultai Mythic Rare and you are playing a blue-black deck or something.
Yeah, value, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's I don't know. I mean, stuff like these 3-mana cards, like triple different color mana, could be relevant. Could let you cast like the.
But it has to be so good to like make up for because like gaining 3 life is not worth a card.
It's historic.
Agreed.
It's a historic spell.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that it's a cheap artifact is what it's going to be used for.
Yeah, historic. Right.
Yeah, see, Big F Monster saying, I consider it bad mana fixing. I think that's the wrong way to use it. It's just not worth a card.
Yeah, we need stuff like Jahora in our deck for this card to be used.
Yeah, you have to be doing something real busted with it, or just using it at card parity. With something else.
So bad Colossal Dreadmaw.
Yeah. Partic Wanderer is just a random limited card.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Power Stone, Shard.
Colossal Dreadmaw, just -1/-1 for no reason.
Yeah, but you can cast it in anything.
Sure.
Power Sword, Shard, 3-mana artifact, tap, add 1 for each artifact you control named Power Stone Shard. It's weird, like Cloudstone Land.
Yeah.
Or Cloudstone Artifact, I mean. Alright, sure. Mana Rocks are too good at 2 and not good enough at 3.
Yep.
And that pattern continues. Shield of the Realm, 2-mana artifact equipment, 1 to equip. The source would deal damage to equip creature, prevent 2 of that damage.
Pretty good.
Probably fine and limited. Can't construct with it.
Correct.
Short Sword, 1-mana artifact, 1 to equip, +1/+1. We've seen this card a bunch of times.
Scimitars are always good and limited.
Yeah, usually they range from quite good to not great, and never anywhere else.
Yeah.
Skittering Surveyor, 3-mana, 1/2. ETB, search the library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand. Alright, so this is Pilgrim's Eye.
Yep.
No flying.
Totally fine. Limited card and sometimes nudge their way into constructed.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorcerer's Wand, 1-mana artifact equipment, 3 to equip. Equipped creature has tap. This creature deals 1 damage to the target player or planeswalker. If this creature is a wizard, it deals 2 damage to that player or planeswalker instead.
Jeez.
So
Can't hit creatures, so I'm not really interested in it.
yeah. Kind of like basically this card reads 1 mana or 4 mana. Your creature is unblockable.
Yeah.
But it's not good.
Yeah.
Spartan Construct, 1 mana, 1/1. When it dies, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control.
Surprisingly, creatures like this are like actually good in construct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very hidden almost. Like it's not something you would expect, but something like Spartan Construct is totally something I could see in a multitude of different.
Well, they're just so desperate for 1-drops.
There's actually a lot of good ones.
But they stack, right? Like if you're playing a deck that's like super low to the ground and like trying to go wide fast, like you need like 12 1-drops, you know?
Yeah.
And if you can ever do anything with a +1/+1 counter, like a Merfolk Synergy or something, then it gets real interesting.
Yeah.
Threat Temporal Gateway, 4 mana, legendary artifact, 4 mana tap. You may put a historic permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. It's like it's like Quicksilver Amulet. Is that what that card's called?
Yes, it is Quicksilver Amulet.
That seems like fringe sideboard play.
Yeah, this one can put lands into play. I mean, legendary lands, but lands. So, I mean, it is very slow. But yeah, Quicksilver Amulet, essentially, you know, another way to, like, sneak. I guess one thing that's interesting is it bypasses counter spells. You can sneak planeswalkers into play.
Yeah.
Sneak.
Yeah, that's what Amulet's used for in, like, show and tell decks or whatever. It just, like, gives you more copies of
Right.
more, like, must counters.
Yeah.
And being able to, like, flash in a Saga on end step is pretty sweet. I don't know if that's worth, you know, the 8 mana price tag to get it going, but like you basically have to activate this twice. Or you need this either to be like countered or dealt with immediately, and you know then it's just a 1-for-1, or you activate it like once really well or twice at all.
Yeah. Even then, you're still spending a lot of mana.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to be like locking some counter spells in their hand or something.
Yeah.
Traxos Scourge of Krug, 4 mana 7/7 trample. ETB is tapped and doesn't untap. Whenever you cast a historic spell, untap it.
Card is fantastic.
Seems great.
I think this is one of those things that we've been looking for like a reason to play these cheap and cheap artifacts or cheap legends or whatnot. So yeah, this is definitely the payoff card here.
What was the like 4 mana 5/5 thing that like only untapped when something died? Anyone know what I'm talking about?
No idea.
That card was sweet, and this seems kind of like that. It's like not only is it a great rate, but like it also usually, possibly, perhaps can play both sides. Like
You're talking about the one from Shadows, right? That was a rare spell? 1 mana 5/5, and only attacked when something died.
Yeah. I think it was an Innistrad.
Yeah,
card.
Shadows and Innistrad.
But yeah, you play a thing and attack with this, and then you could play another thing and block with it, you know?
Sure.
Yeah, Traxos is a reason to play the box.
Yeah.
That's fair. I guess it is worth pointing out it doesn't turn on the Mox, obviously.
Yeah. But like, if you have this and a Mox in your deck, you have other things that proc them.
Yeah, for sure.
Urza's Tome. 2 mana artifact, tap 3, draw a card, then discard a card unless you exile a historic card from your graveyard. So, Jam Day Tomb.
Yeah,
sort of.
I don't see it.
So, the way you gotta look at this card is it's like you loot twice and then you draw a card.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could be in.
Or
I
even
could be
once.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna loot draw every time, but most of the time it's gonna be. Like,
Yeah, if you draw over half the time, right? Probably. Probably about half.
I would say slightly under half.
Sure,
Probably
somewhere around there. That's a fine rate.
46, 40, 44.
Yeah, I mean, that would be worth it. I think this card is like, for people that love black-white control decks, you know, like mid-range shitty control decks, like Mardu and stuff, that don't get access to real card draw, they would want to use this. The problem is that it's boxed out right now by, like, Treasure Map and Azur's Gateway that are just way better versions of this.
Yeah.
Voltaic Servant, 2 mana, 1/3 at the beginning of your end step, untap target artifact.
This goes in our Traxos deck.
Combo.
Got him.
If your Mox is on, it's good with that.
Yeah.
It's good with your Icy Manipulator.
Yeah, I mean, not really using Icy on our
Yeah, only if it's a tapping blocker.
Yeah, we're tapping it so they don't block our Traxos, obviously.
Of course. All
Gotta
right.
make sure our Trampler gets through.
And finally, Weatherlight. Talk about like a old reference throwback story card. Weatherlight is a 4-mana legendary vehicle. Vehicles are back. 4/5 for 4 flying. Crew 3. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may look, not a may, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a historic card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order.
I'm really glad this card doesn't cost 3.
No kidding.
So,
It's a pretty strong effect, but
Yes.
it's like a post-rotation card. Like the competition for a
Yes.
4-drop slot.
Yeah, way too high. There's still obviously a braid, like...
it does survive Glorybringer. It can block Glorybringer.
Yeah,
It can definitely block Glorybringer, yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, it kind of suffers the same fate as Heart of Kiran, and Heart of Kiran is a much better card.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's worse heart and in a more competitive slot and is more susceptible to a braid. I mean, this card is just like garbage until rotation happens, and then we'll see.
Yeah, with stuff like Chandra existing, it's just so hard to play something like that.
Yeah, it's absurd. For 1 more mana, you get Scarab God. Like,
Yup.
When you put it into that.
yeah, that's just all I think about when I see these cards. It's just like, yeah, I could just have a Scarab God. Just win. Thanks. Alright, so that's all the artifacts.
We have the one colorless card.
We'll do Karn and then call it, and then we'll come back to the other things next time.
Yeah,
Sure.
that is amusing missing matter that Captain Sicily came recorded.
That is mildly amusing, yeah.
Yeah, that's bad.
Flavor fail.
She can't do it alone. It's part of the story. Alright, Karn, Sign of Urza. This is one of the few cards that I did see ahead of time. 4 mana Planeswalker with 5 loyalty and a plus. That's already, like,
Is this card real?
real good. The +1 is reveal the top 2 cards of your library. An opponent chooses one of them and put that into your hand. Exile the other with a silver counter on it. -1, put a card you own with a silver counter on it from exile into your hand. -2, create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token. With this creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control.
Jesus.
This card is excellent and is good in ways and better than people think in ways that, like, they just haven't realized yet. And they're gonna, once they play with it once. The plus ability is, like, if you hit 2 lands or 2 spells, it's exactly the same as draw a card. If you hit one of each, then, like, they'll probably give you the land, which is fine, and then you get the other card later if you want it. So the plus is better than people think. The minus is obviously absurd. Because, like, you play this and plus it, it's at 6. So, you know, what's the max they could attack it for? 4? And then the next turn you can get the other card and have this thing live, or keep plussing it and just, like, turn the minus into Demonic Tutor as the game goes on. And then, the first time I read this card, I thought, that it didn't protect itself, because I was like, oh, and these two abilities don't protect it, and then the ultimate. But no, it has a negative ability, a neg 2, that protects it. And, you know, it's not removal, but it's a chump blocker that can trade with a lot of this stuff in red decks. You know, it's not one of those card advantage planeswalkers that's dead against aggro. Like, you play this, make a 1/1, it trades with a card and gains you, like, 6 life, because they have to alpha at it, right?
Yes.
One of the interesting...
What?
I was going to say, there's a couple of really interesting things with Karn. Like, it's a colorless source of card advantage, like you were talking about for the Mardu decks. Those Gilded black-white control decks now have, like, a very good source of card advantage. It's a colorless card for the historic spells, the legendary spells as well.
It's so hard to kill. Like, 6 is so much loyalty for turn 4. So, like, you're going to be able to play this and then the next turn play your historic spell. Or your, what are they called?
Legendary.
Legendary.
Yeah.
But the legendary spells, the ones that are actually, like, legendary spells.
Yeah, that you need the legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It does protect itself with the negative 2, and that's interesting as well. Like, the +1, there, like you were saying, AJ, there's gonna be times where, like, you literally don't even want that other card. So you're just like, well, it's just +1 again, and just keep plussing it.
Elevator up.
Cards. Yeah, just draw a card every turn, draw the best out of my top 2 until you're dead.
Yep.
Like, I don't actually have to worry about doing anything else because you just have a colorless source of cards.
Yep. And then the other thing that people miss about this card, I think, maybe people are figuring it out by now, but when it first was previewed and people were talking about it, I basically saw nobody mention it, is the way that the first 2 abilities are worded. Your second Karn can get a card that your first Karn exiled. They're not exiled by Karn. Like, the 7-mana Karn exiles the card itself. So if you play a second one and then try and ult it later, you don't get what the first one killed. But this card, you can plus it. You know, say you, like, plus it twice, and they spend 2 full attack steps killing it, which is just amazing for you. Like, you're up those 2 cards and, like, 10 life. And then... if you have something that you like, then, you know, later in the game, on, like, 7 mana, you play your second card, get back your counter spell, and pass.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. The wording is fantastic on that. That allows you to just do all sorts of busted stuff. It seems like there's a lot of that they purposefully have allowed to get out, which I like. I like them expanding playability. It's also, like, a little more simpler for newer players. Like, it has a silver counter on it. I can clearly get it back. It's not like, was it exiled with the old Karn, with the new one? Like, I don't remember.
Like, all the old, like, Urza's Saga cards that just, like, exile something face down, and you have, like, all these different piles of like, face down exiles.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and it's why we started developing that habit with, like, you know, cards like Nightveil Spectre.
Yeah, you just put it on the card.
Yeah, you just put it on the card, or, like, Bomat Courier, etc.
Yeah,
but then, like, now we have sweet things that were way easier, like Gonti. You're just like, the ability resolved, I have this card that I can cast, regardless of what happens the rest of the game. So I like that they're moving in that direction. Obviously, like, Jesus, man, that's so many loyalty.
It's so hard to kill. It's insane.
Like, that's so much. I think it's also worth that, like, I mean... Yes, if you reveal, like, land spell or whatever, that they're probably going to give you a land. But, like, man, I remember playing Fact or Fiction And dear God, you could just game people with the cards
Oh
sometimes.
yeah. When they
know?
give you like the pile that's like 2 spells or 3 land, you're like 3 land, what a deal! Like,
Yeah, you're like, are you retarded? I didn't have any more. You know, like, you know. So I think that's a thing. Obviously, like, hey, you know, like, is this just gonna be in every deck? Like, can we just land a werewolf this guy into play? Is that fair?
yeah, why not?
No, it's not fair whatsoever.
Nope, not even a little.
Yeah, like they're gonna be like, I'm gonna play my 2-drop. You know, I play a Karn. It is your turn.
Karn plus, Karn
yeah.
plus, and the game hasn't gone on enough for you to have the information to know which one I need.
Yeah, like I have 3 lands and a land werewolf in play, and I just revealed like cycle land and removal spell, and you're like, well, I have to give you the cycle land, and you're like, bitch.
Oh yes,
you know, like,
my land drop I was gonna miss.
yeah. Oh, thank God. Yeah. I mean, it's just. I think this is going to be super annoying.
Yeah, it's
like
great.
Obviously.
Can you guys like imagine holding up Vraska's contempt or whatever, but being on the draw and then playing around the route?
They get it under.
And they're just like, well, I play my 3rd land. They're gonna draw like a million cards before I even Vraska's contempted.
Yeah.
And by the time Vraska's contempted, I'm just dead.
And then I just play my other card and get back one of the cards that I exiled.
Yeah.
The card's gonna be too good.
Yeah, it's
this card's gonna be way too good. Obviously, we're not even using the like. What if you're just playing an artifact deck and this -2 is actually put a 4/4 into play?
Yeah.
You know,
It's to say nothing of that.
No one wants to talk about that.
Yeah, we're not
going to
talk about it. We're gonna talk about the natural, fantastic first 2 abilities, and maybe you'll make some 1/1s and 2/2s. But also, like, hey, you know, if you maybe craft your deck this way, it just says -2, put a 5/5 into play. And then also, next turn, -2, put a 6/6 into play. So maybe...
We'll do that after we draw 10 cards.
Yeah, sure. I mean, when you have 16 loyalty on it or whatever, and 9 cards in your hand, and you're like, well, if I plus again, I'm going to have to discard them, so...
If I keep plusing, I'm going to deck myself, so...
Yeah, that's fair. That is reasonable.
I mean, this is...
Nobody was talking about Tezzereth's -1 when
It's like, no, I can power through my whole deck in 3 turns.
Yeah, no worries. Not a worry in the world.
Yeah, this card is fantastic. Like, pretty obvious shoe-in for, you know, the initial chase card.
Yeah, best card.
Yeah. I mean, it said Karn on it. And we were like, well, it's got to be bad for people not to want it. It says Karn.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's like the only thing that makes Karn not good is in like a standard environment is that it's so expensive, and then the one that they print costs 4.
Yeah. Like, what the hell?
I'm pretty sure if I flip a line off with my Karn, I'll be happy.
Yeah, they give me a Karn. They give me a chump blocker to protect my Karn or ramp into it or. Like, imagine flipping a Karn to this. Like, Factor Fiction into Factor Fiction. You flip a Karn to this, they can't give it to you. They have to give you the other card.
Right. And then you're just like, well, I believe I'll take this other Karn. Thank you.
Yeah, you just do it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the real killer there. Like, that's going to be one of those, like, I mean, to kind of go into like WotC mode or whatever. Like, that's going to be a very unfun atmosphere.
Yeah, that's a play pattern that will get real old real fast.
Yeah, for
sure. The fact that these like stack so well with each other.
Yeah.
Like you just want to play 4 with them.
Yeah, I agree. I was gonna say, even though it's obviously legendary because it's a planeswalker, etc. But like, you're still going to play a 4x Karn deck.
Yep.
You know. And I think that the fact that it will become borderline miserable for people who don't. I mean, it's gonna be miserable for everybody, I think, but it's gonna be especially miserable for people who are like, oh man, I want to go play my white weenie deck or whatever, and you're like, I'm gonna play
green white creature deck.
I want to play a Karn. It's your turn. Okay, what do I do now? I guess I'll attack it for 4, and you're like, okay, I'll plus it again, and then I'll Wrath, or you just hold up a Settle, or I'll play a Teferi and keep up a removal spell, and like, what in the world? It
feels like a similar but not quite as busted play pattern as Mind Sculptor was once Bloodbraid Elf was gone.
Yes.
Or it was just
that's really good. Yeah. Is there something that checks this? Like, realistically?
Contempt, but it's like if you contempt this, you're like greatly losing out.
Ixalan's Binding. Ixalan's Binding.
It's another
Ixalan's
4 mana
Binding. Okay.
sorcery speed thing. Like it's not good against it. Like I play this and activate it once, and then you spend the same amount of mana to kill it. Like
right, but it does make sure you can't cast the second one or whatever. You know, like,
Sure.
We're talking about like a good, efficient answer because
sure, but I'm still like up a full card.
I mean, I agree, but like it's better than not. Like
right, there's no Bloodbraid Elf that like kills it and gives them the card back. You know, like there's no.
No, I mean there's not like kill a planeswalker, draw a card like there was.
Right. There's no way to recoup the loss. Like you have to counter it. Is your only way to break even or profit a mana or two off of this thing, off of your opponent's Karn, is to counter it.
Did we get counter spells on this set? I didn't look.
I mean, we have a couple cancels and stuff, but
yeah, there's the cancel that can become a counter spell if you have a wizard and stuff. But yeah, I'm not sure. We'll have to talk about that next time.
Yep.
Oh, Syncopate.
Right. Thanks. Oh, Syncopate. Syncopate's probably the real thing.
Yep. Sorry, I just wanted to like browse through real quick and see if there was something.
Syncopate's
a
hell of a card.
Yes, yes. If anyone does not remember that, obviously it's a blue X instant counter target spell unless the controller pays X. If it's countered this way, exile it instead of binning it. So
that's a quality counter spell.
Yeah,
that's a better counter spell than they've let us have in years.
Yeah, for sure. And then obviously, we have the 3-drop, kind of callback to the Saga cards that like untap 3 lands when you counter.
Yeah, the rewind. But that thing only counters non-creatures.
Yeah, it's a negate.
Okay.
Yeah, negate. Yeah, so
that's good against
probably
Karn.
not. Yeah, obviously very good against Karn. Probably not going to be, super packed in the blue decks or whatever, like in the main deck or whatever. But
yeah,
I'm definitely I'm liking what we're seeing so far.
Agreed.
A lot. A lot. I'm really hoping that this continues with,
more awesomeness.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a torn feeling. Like, I want it to be awesome, but then at the same time, like, maybe we should put the fucking brakes on a little bit.
There's enough broken shit going on.
Right, like maybe just calm down. Just like tap the brakes, just a little,
Toe them a little.
Just a little. You know what I mean? Like maybe no more like you can't beat this card. Like I don't like those cards.
Well, a lot of them are just not even going to
personally.
be like they're not going to have a home until rotation. Because Kaladesh, Aether Revolt are like just busted sets.
Yeah, I 100% agree. But I guess I'm not looking forward to like moving from a world that has like all these busted red cards to like, we're going to have a world that has all these busted red cards and stuff like Karn. Then we're going to move to a world that's just like Karn and all of these cards that just come into play and you can't win anymore.
Yeah, it's clear that this set is not a big set to a small set. Like it is just a block within a set.
Yeah, this is it. This is just it does kind of feel like that now that you mention it. It kind of does feel like they squished maybe
That's
like
exactly what they did.
Worth of stuff into one. Like maybe they did like legitimately did they actually have like 2 sets of this?
Yeah, well, I don't know if they had 2 sets, but this is like their first attempt at
one set block.
One set block.
No, and it does feel that way, which I like. But I guess I'm curious as to like, did they have like 400 actual cards that they wanted to go out, but then they're just like, well, let's just smash them.
I'm sure. I mean, there's so much source material for Dominaria that I'm sure that this set is the cards that printed are like under half of what they came up with.
Sure. So you're thinking they just had like 500 cards and this is what they came up with. So
least.
that's why it seems like all the cards are good because they were like, well, let's just get this card out of here.
Only the most interesting and different
like,
and unique.
This card's shit, bin it. Let's just move on. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Thanks for hanging out, guys. We'll go over the rest of the stuff next time.
Excellent.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks for having us, AJ. See you soon.
Boop, 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 boop.